That's how we start every episode. Hello, welcome back to Hot Topic with Pickle and Bailey. I'm Pickle.
I'm Bailey.
And it's great to be back. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you for being here.
We say to ourselves.
We appreciate it. We've had a great week.
Yeah. It's been a good week.
Of people, old fans, crawling back.
Old fans and new
friends. Well, really,
friends.
we crawled back.
Yeah.
And they met us with open arms.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening. We really do appreciate it.
We do.
How was your week, Bailey? How are you? What's up?
My week was good. What is up? I don't know. It's hard for me to know what's happening in my life at any given time. I forgot what day it was earlier.
You have to learn how not to be where you are. It's a song that I discovered from Kiss of the Spider Woman, which is my new favorite song.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
She's just singing about disassociating.
I feel like that's kind of how my week goes. I'm just like, when people ask you like how your weekend was and you have no answer, you're like, what did I do this weekend? And it's Monday.
Yeah, I can't stand small talk, even though I do it so much.
What would be a better small talk alternative other than like, how was your week? How was your weekend?
What are you afraid of right now?
Ooh.
What are your fears? Everyone would say money, right?
Yeah, I'm afraid of money.
I'm afraid of money. I'm afraid that money is gonna attack me because there's so much of it.
I'm just concerned about like how well I'm doing, I guess.
I'm gonna drown in my money.
I sometimes wonder like what would happen if I let myself be successful.
I'm like, is this level of success sustainable? What if my bank account literally bursts?
I look at my credit cards and I go, you need to be doing more work for me.
The strain. They won't even give me credit cards. We've talked about this a lot. They just won't.
Okay, what do you mean?
My credit score is like 1.
How?
I don't know. I don't have credit cards, so I don't get good credit. It's a zero-sum game.
Okay, but it's not that you have bad credit. Like, did you fuck up?
I surely have bad credit.
Have you had loans that you've not paid back? Have you...
Do you have to pay back loans?
Yes.
I thought that was like loans.
It's
just a fancy
loan.
way of calling
I winked with my
gifts.
non-camera.
Yeah.
It's a loan.
It's a loan, babe.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, you have to pay them back.
So your week was you've been disassociating.
I think it's more like I've been so busy I haven't had much downtime to think about what I'm doing, if that makes sense. But it's been good. Lots of good things.
Good.
Work,
Give me an example.
That
good,
okay,
huh?
Yesterday, Kyle and I were going to take the dog to the dog park that we usually take it to. And as we were like on your street, basically, it started raining only right there.
It was only raining at my apartment yesterday.
Yeah. It was only your apartment. We drove by and it started raining. And so we couldn't really take the dog to the park we usually take him to because it was going to be too muddy. So we pivoted and we went to a different place that we were wanting to try. And not only was this like the perfect dog park, there was a double rainbow over it, and the rainbow encompassed...
saw that rainbow but me.
It like had the Hollywood sign was in the middle of the two rainbows. It was like stupid perfect, and I'm so sorry you didn't see it.
I hate seeing rainbows because
why?
I feel so much pressure to like appreciate it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it's so much pressure to be like the best gay you can be.
The best. It's like God telling me you're not gay enough.
Yeah.
No, it's just like I see a rainbow and then I'm like, oh, how long is it going to be there? Oh, I don't know.
Oh my gosh, that is true. It does kind of have this fleeting feeling.
I'd rather
about
not
it.
perceive any beauty than feel the pressure of taking it in.
Yeah. Okay. So you look away, sort of, when you see something lovely.
I close my eyes.
That's smart. I think that's the move.
I curl up on the ground. I close my eyes.
I will say
I pray for it to go away.
These rainbows lasted for like hours. And like in the middle of the dog park, or like I guess towards the edge of the dog park, you could see the end of the rainbow.
Was there a little man guarding a pot of gold?
To
solve all your fiduciary troubles?
an adult woman
rob
that
a
I am,
leprechaun?
I did look. I was like, I just need to go. I'm gonna.
If I don't check, it'll bother me.
Seriously, it's gonna like irk me for the rest of the day.
For the rest of my life, I'll always wonder
I'll just,
if
like,
there
kinda
had
think
been
about
a
it.
pot of gold at the end of that double rainbow.
No, there just like very clearly wasn't. It just like sort of disappeared.
There's a bunch of people
There
like
was
you.
dog shit. Yeah, dog shit and 4 other like 30-year-old women.
I just have to check.
I just have to check. So we were all just going, excuse me.
It's like if I just have to go back and make sure the front door is locked.
Yeah, sorry. I just need to like. I'm gonna be thinking about it the whole time, and I won't be present. Yeah, that's me with leprechauns.
Just all leprechauns.
Yeah. What about you? How was your week? How are you? How's your heart?
It's good. My heart healthy. My BPM 52.
What about your BMI?
Resting.
I'm just kidding.
Your BMI. I'm going to give it a 4. I don't know what that sounds like a good number.
Yeah. No, that's very thin.
That's
actually
alarmingly
You're like
thin.
not okay. That's great.
That's great.
That's
You're
great.
not well. I've been okay. I substitute teach and I haven't been called in. I guess because it's like there was a holiday last week and then there's holidays coming up. So I think teachers just aren't calling out sick, which is
because they know they're going to get some days.
of
Yeah,
them.
it honestly is.
But so I've had to pivot each day because to substitute, I wake up. It's very flexible, but in order to do it, you have to like wake up at 6. And my version of waking up is like I lie there and I'm just in bed waiting for the call.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't come, so I've had to pivot. But I've had a productive couple of days just doing stuff in sewing and I had it was West Hollywood's birthday yesterday,
Happy
November
birthday,
29th.
WeHo.
Happy birthday, WeHo. So as drag laureate, I showed up and made some remarks and sang a song.
What did you sing and what did you say?
I sang Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. And
Yeah, that's the WeHo birthday song, I would imagine.
WeHo birthday song. And I talked about, I don't know, love or something. And I actually stole my own soundbite because I didn't realize they were going to play a video of me talking before I talked.
Oh.
And in the video, I said what I had been planning on saying.
That's a nightmare.
So I got up and I was like, I just stole my own soundbite.
You plagiarized from yourself.
I plagiarized from myself. And then was left stranded. But other than that, good. Life is good. I'm happy to be back in the pod. I really enjoyed doing it last week, and I'm excited to do it this week. And please rate and subscribe us. I've never asked that. Oh, sorry. Subscribe to us. I've never asked this in earnest before.
Subscribe us.
Subscribe us to the New Yorker.
Cult. Yeah.
So we can get another one of those tote bags. I see people with those New Yorker tote bags. They give those tote bags. If you so much as click on their Instagram profile, they'll send you a tote bag.
We're sending you a tote. Yeah, that's them. That's my impression of the New Yorker.
There's totes in the mail.
Yeah, interact with us online. You know what? I would love to say rate us 5 stars. I'd take a 3.
Do something.
Just do something. Make a choice.
Participate.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into what we're talking about today.
Yeah, we're going to jump into our topic. So our first topic, my topic is Napoleon.
Napoleon who?
Napoleon Bonaparte. Later known as Napoleon I. That's his regnal name.
That's the name you get once you're
a sovereign.
Right.
Once God has said you.
Then you get a 1
Then
next
you get
year.
a new name.
What if you were like Pickle the First?
I would be Pickle the First because there's no other Pickle.
Yeah.
It's just like there was no other Napoleon, so he was Napoleon I. But if there had been a Napoleon before, he would be,
Napoleon
II. Or
Oh.
3. Or 4.
Okay.
Elizabeth was Elizabeth II. Now she's dead.
So now she's nothing. Why did you pick Napoleon?
Well, we saw the movie Napoleon with Joaquin Phoenix in the cinema.
Yeah.
We
It's
went
a great
together.
film.
Great film.
I really enjoyed it a
Go
lot.
see it. They need our support.
Oh, they are drowning at the AMC.
Actually,
Yeah.
they actually are falling apart. But they do need our support. But I thought it was a great movie, and it sparked my interest in Napoleon because I realized I didn't know all that much about him.
Yeah.
Despite loving France. And je l'adore et c'est très important pour moi apprendre de culture française parce que je veux y visiter dans le futur.
I was going to say that.
Encore.
But now
Déjà.
I won't, I guess.
Yeah.
All I know about Napoleon is the boy that I nanny became very obsessed with like world history and World War, and Napoleon in particular, so much so that he got an exact replica costume of Napoleon Bonaparte's famous hand in shirt, hand in
I've
stomach.
seen the look. It's a very good look.
It's a look. He wore it to RuPaul's Drag Con.
I remember.
Yeah.
We hung out. We took a picture.
Yeah. I'll find the picture. We'll post it. It's very cute. He was like maybe 9 or 10 at the time and looked adorable in his Napoleon
now he's
costume.
40.
Yeah, he aged quickly.
Because of that witch. So Napoleon Bonaparte, for those of you who don't know, was a significant historical figure. Known for his role as a French military leader and emperor. He was born on August 15th, 1769 in Corsica.
Great year,
great place. And he rose to prominence during the French Revolution. Mm-hmm. What did you think of it? You liked the movie. I liked the movie as well.
I really liked the movie.
What was your favorite thing about it?
No spoil. This is immediately a spoiler.
Well,
can
you spoil history?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. Okay, hold on. This is my favorite part of the movie. The very beginning, the movie starts with Marie Antoinette getting the chop.
Getting the chop, very frazzled.
She's very frazzled. I think what I was so shocked about, they really set a tone for the violence that they're going to show immediately, because they show that woman's head getting clean cut off her body, and then they hold the head up, and it is the most gruesome. It's like Game of Thrones ass makeup. It's like corn syrup blood, but it looks really gross, real. Yeah. It's disgusting, and it's and then you watch it and you're just kind of like, okay, hell yeah, what is this going to be? And it does not disappoint. It is disgusting and gory the whole way through, and
very realistic. That was what you said that when we were coming out of the theater, that you liked that it felt the stakes always felt real. Like it always felt like people were very good acting. People were
acting was great.
It always felt like they were, sometimes in historical dramas, I think that people act a little too dignified. Like, and in reality, they would have been like quivering or freaking out.
That's the thing I noticed is like all of the moments where you're watching people go to war. Usually you see them, they're like either confident or they're like, they know they're going to die, but they don't care. In this, they're nervous. Like Napoleon is like hyperventilating a little bit, like to himself. He's not, and it's not like a big hyperventilation. He's just sort of like, like he's just like breathing really hard to himself in a way that is, it made me breathe really hard. It made me like freak out a little bit. Like I felt nervous watching him.
Yeah, good job. Joaquin Phoenix, keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, you're going to see more of him. I guarantee it. I saw him one time at a gallery opening. Yeah.
Where?
It was, oh my God, what's his name? The Obey giant guy. Shepard Fairey's gallery opening. This is right when Joker came out. And like Rooney Mara and Joaquin Phoenix. And then is Todd Phillips the name of the director? I want to say that's his name. I don't know. Yeah? Okay, so yeah, they were all there. And Joaquin Phoenix, I was like, oh my God.
It's Joaquin Phoenix. I probably wouldn't recognize him.
You would.
Maybe I would now.
You definitely
Although
would.
The first like 10 minutes of the movie, I was just thinking the whole time, I had a very intrusive thought, which was just like, am I going to have to endure another one of his Oscar speeches? I really wish that when he wins Oscars, that he just would kind of take it and leave. I don't really, because I always get really irritated when they're like, I can't believe that we take baby cows from
they,
cows.
Do justice.
I'm like, you don't believe that?
Yeah.
Like, what's the carbon footprint of the movie that you made?
Yeah, you're a murderer,
this
basically.
Award? Yeah, like, what are you talking about?
There's blood on your hands for even being here.
They probably killed cows just to make room to film the battle scenes of Napoleon.
You know what I really love? Do you remember when Frances McDormand won for, was it 3 billboards maybe? Whatever. She won for some amazing role. She's amazing. And her Oscar speech, she started by going, representation matters. And everyone's clapping, thinking she's like, oh yeah, representation does matter in film. And then she went on to say, like, I want to thank my agents, my managers. And it was just like, everyone was like, like just so horrified that she like missed it so badly. It was great. It was really great.
That is so, they just really honestly shouldn't speak. But unless the words have been written for them.
Yeah. Amen.
By AI. But so, or humans. Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
So back to Napoleon, very important figure in France.
In France.
He became, through a military coup, the de facto leader of France.
Right.
Through a coup d'etat.
Oh, that's what a coup d'etat. Right.
Coup d'etat. Yes. And so then eventually he became emperor, which also it's like, well, I was watching the film and also while doing some research on Mr. Bonaparte, later Napoleon I, which I guess is how we should refer to him.
Napoleon I.
But then he abdicated.
Oh, so we're okay with Napoleon.
We're okay with Napoleon. He wouldn't be Napoleon the First because he abdicated and gave up the regnal name because he was no longer sovereign.
Right.
I was watching and I was like, God, like there's so many peasants and civilians that just never knew any of this was happening. They were just like there.
Yeah.
It's
like,
how would
we're
they
hungry.
Like they're just like doing their daily, like civilians are always just along for the ride. Like we're just like, there's probably just like they control the military and they control the taxes and stuff. But outside of that, it's like, how do they even know that like, oh, a new guy is in charge?
Yeah.
And now we listen to him.
They didn't have the news back then.
Even now, people don't know who's in charge, and there's a lot of information.
Yeah. Well, there's too much. It's the opposite problem. There's too much information to really, truly know what's happening.
What's happening at any time.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's like the fun. Game of Thrones has like episodes about that. Where they're like, there's a new king, and everyone's like, a what?
A what?
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
they go to the people down, and like the flea bottoms are like, okay,
great, yeah.
And then they literally shovel shit, continue to shovel shit down a thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Perfect.
It's that
We're
guy.
serving a new.
It's that guy
class.
in the Shire when Frodo and the hobbits leave, and he's like pitchforking. He's like, "What the fuck ever, you guys!" And then they come back on horses, having saved all of Middle Earth, and he's just like, "Get off my lawn!" Yeah.
Watch
he's a perfect representation of civilians and peasants
in the time of Napoleon. Yeah,
yeah.
And it's just like the people just like their ambitions are just so what. So Bonaparte was really ambitious. Obviously, he became emperor of France, and then was known for a few things, legacies, including the Napoleonic Wars, which millions of people died.
Yeah,
and
I was shocked by that. I don't know how historically accurate the movie really was, but I think it got the battle numbers correct, at least, like how many people
the data
died.
That we have. It's like,
shocking.
What was it, like 3 million? It was crazy.
Yeah, it was like he basically genocided part of France.
Yeah, in the like just the slaughter of, and it's just to take control of land and power. Also, what he's not known for, which I think is wild, is bringing back slavery. Like France during the French Revolution had abolished slavery in 1794. And then Napoleon came into power in, I think it was 1799? Consulting my documents. Yeah, 1799, he had become the de facto leader of France. And one of the first things he did, he was like, well, we need slavery again. He brought slavery back.
Well, that wasn't in the film. Joaquin Phoenix didn't do that.
Joaquin Phoenix didn't bring back slavery. That's interesting.
Yeah, wow. Why would they leave that out?
Can you imagine if he riffed that?
Yeah.
Ridley, I have an idea.
I got an idea. Slaves. So they brought it back.
Joaquin's a master improviser.
Joaquin's a a historical improviser. So they brought back slavery in the Caribbean colonies for economic reasons to pay for these wars. And then his biggest kind of lasting, I think, influence was the Napoleonic Code, which they still use in France.
Yeah.
Which was the codifying of the law.
We took a little bite of that. We have a little bit of that over here. I mean, we don't do it when it matters.
We reference it.
Yeah, we reference it.
I don't know for what.
Codifying. I don't know.
Codifying.
Codifying. Yeah. Oh, is that different? No, it's the same thing. I'm saying
well, it's the same idea. It's a similar idea. It was sort of like this idea that you have one legal code that kind of that like consolidates the laws. Also, though, it like took away a lot of rights from women. Napoleon was not a great guy.
No, I picked that up from the film. I picked a little bit of that
I was on the fence.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? He's kind of cool. And then the slavery thing, that's a no.
He seems to like woman, as in one of the
woman,
women.
Josephine, played beautifully by Vanessa Kirby.
Oh, she's great. And he really, really seemed
God, she went on a hair journey in that movie.
It was a whole...
She came on camera and I was like, I turned to Bailey and I don't want to come off as any type of way, but I was like, God, she looks awful. Like, and Vanessa Kirby is stunning. It's
gorgeous woman.
But they really went out of their way to make her look.
She looks like she had been chewed up in like a wood chipper.
Which is good because she had just been released from
prison, right?
Prison, yeah.
Yeah.
From the French Revolution.
Yeah, Napoleon loves Josephine. Josephine cannot bear Napoleon in air. Bummer. I mean, we've all been there.
We've all been there. So Napoleon gets a divorce, which I was really interested. You know that I'm slightly obsessed with the idea of monarchy. I think it's really wild. And I was interested in how, because a big part of the movie was like the antagonistic relationship between Napoleon and Britain. Not even France and Britain so much as Napoleon and Britain.
Yeah.
And I was interested in how like the French monarchy fell apart and the British monarchy didn't fall apart.
Yeah.
And so I kind of dug in a little to that. And it was like, and I thought they did it so beautifully in the movie where they demonstrated that like the French monarchy was just all over the place. It was like they didn't have any sense of continuity.
Yeah.
They didn't have rituals that they would do. Like the British, like whether or not you support the monarchy, they're very good at continuity.
Yeah,
they
they're
do
very
the same
traditional
thing every time, no matter who it is. And the people that are in the monarchy, whether or not you like it, they disappear into their roles. They become secondary as people to the institution. Whereas we were seeing with Napoleon, it's like part of the reason it failed is because he just like, there's that scene where he like picked up the crown and he was like put it on his own head.
Yeah, well,
like,
the divorce scene I think is a really good example of that too, because and it also made me wish that not secretly, that all divorces had to be like weddings.
Oh yeah,
kind of, because like
where people are watching.
Yeah, people are watching. You air your grievances, sort of like you have to write like final unvows, I guess, to each other.
Unvow, yeah.
You have to unvow. You have to break your promises, but it has to be like kind of a show. And Napoleon was like, Josephine, I love you, girl. I love you, sweetie, baby, honey. I love you. You're barren.
You're a barren bitch.
I don't see any kid of mine coming out of there, and so it's over for me. And then everyone's just sort of like,
yeah, everyone's watching.
Everyone's
I really think people get married too much. I think people are so quick to get married, which I think is foolish. And I think that if we made it a rule where if you have a wedding and then you get divorced, everyone that you invited to your wedding has to be a witness at your divorce as well, mandated by law.
That would be
they
so
have
entertaining.
to watch you unvow.
Yeah.
And explain to them why you wasted their time.
Yeah.
Talking all this smack about eternal love.
Yeah.
I think about that when I'm at weddings. I'm like, if this falls apart, I bought a plane ticket to get here.
Yeah, you're going to owe me thousands.
Yeah, I want an unwedding.
Yeah.
A divorce. And I think that would discourage people.
From divorcing.
Because if you had to do it the way Napoleon and Josephine did it, you probably you wouldn't rush into marriage.
No. He strikes her across the face.
Yeah, that was a really upsetting and also hysterical scene.
It was very funny. And don't hit women.
Don't ever hit women.
Don't hit women. But it was very funny.
But it was just like this aggressive, weird scene that was so upsetting and also hysterical.
Yeah.
And also, just really quickly before we move on from Napoleon.
Okay.
We loved the battles.
Oh, incredible battle scenes. Like
Battles.
one in particular, I think was really one of the best battle scenes I've ever seen.
Chef's kiss. And we are connoisseurs of military history.
We love that shit.
We devour it constantly. So that was the Battle of Austerlitz, and you'll have to see the movie because it's really quite spectacular. Mm-hmm. But what was interesting is that we're going to break down the military for you really quick.
Just
at the time of Napoleon, just really fast. And then I want to know where you would be in all this.
Okay.
In a battle. So basically, there were kind of three primary things. There was infantry, and that's the soldiers marching with their little bayonets.
This is infantry.
Yeah, you'll have to watch the YouTube video to see our little hands. Wait, no, you put your hand up too. Oh.
This is infantry.
This is infantry.
For those just listening, we are moving our fingers sort of like if they were legs walking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they've got guns and stuff. And then there's cavalry, which is the horses.
Cavalry, yeah.
And so the horses are going,
galloping.
Wah! And so you send in the infantry and then you send in the cavalry to and basically what I loved learning about the cavalry is it was kind of just to fuck everyone up. Like you just send the horses to just wow, they're loud and they're moving and it's hard to navigate.
They're big. They have scary feet.
They have scary feet. They you can't they'll step on you.
Yeah.
And then they have artillery, which is the cannons and stuff. So Napoleon was really good, I guess, at making all that work. Where would you be?
Ooh.
Oh, and they have the drummers and the instruments.
Yes.
Which were used to communicate because they didn't have Snapchat.
I want to say that I would be safe in a tent, sort of making the calls. Warm.
Making the
fed.
calls?
That's
or
what
making
that's what I want to say. I want to say that I'd be making.
So you'd be the general.
Okay,
what if you can't? What if you don't?
Well, what I'm going to say is that I wouldn't be the general. I have no mind for strategy. I've never won a game of chess, even on easy mode, even against a child. There's no way
you'd be
I would ever
send in the cannons.
Yeah,
and you instead of sending the infantry, they're just rolling the cannons slowly up the hill. Stationary, these cannons that have to be stationary to work.
I would be making dog shit calls. I'd be like, let's all pretend we're not here.
So would you be cavalry, infantry, or artillery?
I would be cavalry. I would be that. I would be the horse girl.
You'd be on the horse? You'd be a horse girl? You'd be sent into... As a horse girl, you would distract everyone with your horse girlishness.
Yeah, I think I would be kind of in my own little world, just galloping. I would be singing to myself.
But the thing is that the cavalry, they didn't have they might have had guns, but they weren't shooting their guns. They kind of had swords.
Yeah, I would have a sword.
Well, you'd have two swords?
I would have two swords. Yeah, I would do some trick riding. I would do what they do at medieval times. You'd be
distracting them with your tricks.
I would be kind of dazzling them, I think. I think I would be trying to stop war with my horseback art.
I feel like infantry sucks the most.
For sure.
Because you're on the front lines and also you're just so vulnerable.
And you're being infantilized in name alone. You're be all right, you little babies.
You little babies, march on. Cavalry, I feel though is scary because you're also vulnerable. Your horse can get shot,
and I would hate that.
That's a no-no. Really we don't like shooting horses.
Yeah,
and you got a sword, and you get there so fast.
You're a little too fast.
I think maybe I'm hanging out in the cannons in artillery, just shooting indiscriminately into the crowd. Yeah. Also, what occurred to me? There must have been so much friendly fire.
Yes.
How could they? Once you're in the thick of it, it's you can't tell who's who. If it's nighttime and it's raining, they're probably just stabbing each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they are. There wasn't like... Also, okay, I guess their uniforms did look different from each other.
Okay.
But not different enough. It's not like when you're watching a soccer game or a football game where they're intentionally like one's the green team and one's the red
Wouldn't
team.
the smart thing to do just would be to show up dressed like the other army?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it was difficult to make
though.
Costumes back then. Costumes,
outfits.
Yeah. Uniforms.
And also it's like a lot of it was very like about honor and stuff, I guess.
Ugh,
which is dumb.
yawn.
Would you be like Napoleon if you...
In what way? Like power hungry? Yeah, actually,
okay.
I've thought about this, and I think I even I went home. I did astrology on this because
on Napoleon.
Napoleon was a Leo, so just very mojo. He was just very like. And I think it really shows. Like, I think he just like didn't know how to take no for an answer. He's really
outspoken.
He wasn't outspoken. He wanted to succeed at any cost. And I like that Mojo's visiting you. He wanted to succeed at any cost. He had a lot of trouble
fitting in.
He was diff. He was built diff. Well, he was like shorter. He wasn't like as short.
Okay, but I know short people who don't
like
lead
kill most of their country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that he wanted to be special. I think that is the thing that I would sum up. I think Napoleon really wanted to be special, really wanted to be good, wanted to be victorious at any cost.
He wanted to be good or he wanted to be powerful?
He wanted to be powerful. He did not care about being good. He wanted to be good at his job as a military general.
Can you be good and powerful?
No.
No, because Henry Kissinger just died. Mic drop. Henry Kissinger just died.
Yeah, people celebrated.
People were really excited. And also, well, he is a war criminal. And he also killed 3 million people.
Yeah.
The numbers add up. So it's like, so I've been reflecting on like, is it possible? It's almost like, it's a catch-22 in that like people in power, like in order to be in power, you have to be that selfish and that narcissistic.
Yeah.
Do we really need people in power?
No.
Is the question.
I don't know. I think we do in some ways. Oh my God, there's so much here about Napoleon.
Sorry, I did a lot of
don't apologize.
Research. But because like,
do we know any good people in power right now?
You can't be president and not be a war criminal.
No.
Of the United States. It's just by virtue of the United States being
the job.
The most powerful. It's like,
yeah.
It's kind of a catch-22, which is like, why are we the most powerful? But I down the line would like to become a French citizen.
Oh, that would be tight.
In my life.
I'll come visit you.
I'm kind of tired. I don't know if I can do America for the long haul.
I feel that way too sometimes. I don't like it here.
I love the moral struggle of being an American.
No, it's really sad.
Like we're kind of born into this nation that is so obsessed with superiority that it's like it's willing to like just allow so much death and suffering.
When I was in Prague for a couple of months right before the pandemic started, it was like really my first time spending a significant amount of time outside of the United States, and something that became clear is that other people from other countries see they feel sorry for Americans, and I wasn't totally sure what to expect, but they were just like, I thought that they were going to be like, oh, you guys are stupid. You guys are obsessed with celebrities. But they were like, no, you guys have no lives. Like your whole setup is just to work and that's it. Like you don't get to experience life in any real way.
This obsession with staying on top, which I imagine was also like what it was like to be French under Napoleon or whatever. Like, it's like all these different shifting power dynamics. But, Henry Kissinger and Napoleon, you both suck. And
called out. We welcome a clap back. You fucking cowards.
You cowards. Okay, and now so that's enough about Napoleon.
Yeah.
Now we move on to your topic.
Let's talk about another short king.
Another short emperor.
Another short little emperor. I don't know how tall he is. I wanted to talk about Matt Rife today. Comedian, actor, YouTuber, TikToker, known for his self-produced comedy specials and appearances on various television shows. He began his career in stand-up comedy at the young age of 15. I didn't know that.
That's not that young.
That's pretty young to do stand-up, I think. You can't even get into a night. I don't know. Okay.
I've seen children do stand-up. You can't tell me that they're not doing it.
You don't know what children are doing behind closed doors.
You don't know anything about the seedy underbelly of children.
Okay. Rife gained significant recognition through his self-produced comedy specials, including OnlyFans in 2021, Matthew Stephen Rife, I'm assuming that's his name, in 2023. Yeah, he filmed two specials in 2023? 3 specials in 2023?
Yeah, if you have money, you can do whatever.
I mean, that's 3 hours of comedy, I assume. I really just finished his Netflix special, Natural Selection, minutes before I got here. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually, okay, so I watched maybe 2 minutes of it and then made a TikTok about it and then got absolutely clobbered online by his fans.
Yeah.
And by my fans who hate me and barely exist. He starts his Netflix special with a joke about a woman who was a hostess in Baltimore, Maryland, having a black eye. And he goes on to say, oh, like, it's so, like, why would they make her be at the front of this restaurant if she has a black eye? It's obvious what happens, he says. It's obvious what happened there. And his friend was like, she should be in the back. They should keep her in the kitchen. And then the punchline of this joke is, that's a better joke than what he even said. He was like, if she could cook, she wouldn't have a black eye. The crowd
I just start
roars.
Yowling with laughter. Just a RuPaul laugh. You just suddenly realize this is not a safe space for you at all.
Oh my God, I have to leave. Look,
gosh.
I actually think that is a super hack joke. I don't yeah, it's offensive, but it's not new. It's not particularly, it doesn't sting. I don't hear that joke and I'm not hurt by it. I'm just like, that's so fucking easy to write.
There's just so many levels. It's very almost like 1930s where it's like, oh, put the woman in the kitchen where she can cook.
Yeah.
It's like cook. It's like also just like there's so many other back of house positions. It's not just a cook back there. Does he know how restaurants work? Someone's washing the dishes. Someone's I've worked in a restaurant. It's hectic.
It is very busy back there.
There's a lot going on back there. So just the fact I'm concerned that they have never seen back of house of a restaurant.
Well,
I assume that it's just cooks.
I mean, I'll say it. I think a lot of famous
some Disney
comedians,
cartoon where there's a chef just magically making everything.
I think a lot of famous comedians have never worked in a kitchen.
And it shows.
For that exact reason. You would know who's back there if you had ever worked in one. I don't think he has.
No, I don't get the impression that Matt Rife has spent much time doing service jobs. I was having this conversation with my friend, and I think we've had this conversation maybe where it's because where do you, I guess the immediate sort of argument is comedy is supposed to push the limits. Comedy is supposed to be risky. Mm-hmm. But, there's just... I agree with that sentiment. I do think that comedy should be pushing the edge. But the thing is that you have to get away with it.
Yeah.
A show... And I know that sounds weird, but it's for it to work, you have to get away with it. And it's all these male comedians who are doing these jokes are not getting away with it because the jokes aren't strong enough. They're not getting away. Yeah. Not to say that you should be making jokes about domestic violence.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to get away with that. But a show like Veep is such a good example where it's so offensive.
Deeply.
But you can still watch it and they're still getting away with it.
Incredible. Yeah.
Because it's incredible. And it's and there are domestic violence jokes in that show.
Yeah.
But she gets away with it.
That would never be the thing that you talk about because it's too funny.
It's
for
so
you
brilliant
to care.
that it does what that kind of humor is supposed to do, which makes you think about it, which like changes you. But this is just a bad. I've also scrolled.
I know
on this image of him. It's just a bad joke, and it's just like a hack job, like you said. But that's kind of his thing, is like just being upsetting, right? But that's like such a white man.
I don't think that's his thing. I think his thing would be that he is a chiseled young man who women go to see because they think he's hot. That's his thing. And something about this special.
Does he know that that's his thing?
Yes, I think he does, because something he said about this special was that he is tired of all of his fans being women, and he wanted to make this one for the guys.
Well, we don't like you.
But guys aren't at his taping. Guys aren't watching it.
Yeah, because they're not.
So why would you make it? It doesn't. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I have a lot of like mixed thoughts about having finished his special.
Did you like it? Do you think he's funny?
I don't think he's good at comedy. I don't think he's funny. I think that he is a very like practiced stand-up comedian. He's a very successful stand-up comedian. I didn't laugh at any of his jokes. And I honestly was like, "Oh, I'm going to give him a chance."
Yeah.
There was not a single time that I felt surprised by his punchlines or interested in his premises. I just didn't think he tried very hard. And you can tell when someone's on stage a lot because he has great stage presence.
He's very charismatic.
Very charismatic. There's a lot he's doing right, clearly. I looked at his website. Every single show, with the exception of maybe 2, until October of next year, are sold out completely. He's
very popular.
He's very popular. He's very successful. But is he funny? I don't really think so. No. I don't think this was a good special. I don't know. It just was nothing, kind of
If I had a conspiracy theory, which I have about everything.
Sure.
I would think that this was sort of a Westworld situation where, the porn site Sean Cody?
No.
It's like a gay porn site. You can Google that on your own time. But it's and all the guys look like him. Matt Rife,
really?
Basically, yeah. It's Sean Cody is a famous gay porn. They all look like this, and they're screwing in the gym and stuff. And making love in the gym.
Thank you.
And so I'm thinking that there's a Westworld situation where the island of Sean Cody, which I don't think they film on an island, but for the sake of this, let's assume they do. They film on an island. If they're all robots, then this makes me think that maybe Matt Rife is an escaped Sean Cody robot who was self-actualizing as a stand-up comedian, and he's
God, that would be so much more compelling.
That experience.
To me, this special felt like watching someone who always wanted to try stand-up do it alone in their bedroom with a laugh track. That's what it felt like. It's if any of these jokes were at any
AI
open mic. Yeah, AI stand-up. It was very generic. It was if anyone did any of these jokes at an open mic, I don't think anyone would laugh. I think the reason that people love him is because
no one laughs at an open mic just by virtue of it being an open mic.
Well, yeah, and that's what makes it hard. That's what makes comedy hard, is that you have to earn people liking you. So if people already like you from the internet, then you're not really getting any valid or genuine feedback on your jokes, and it's just I don't know. It was not enjoyable to watch. However, he does talk about some things that I was like, God damn, I relate to that.
Oh, okay, what?
Yeah, he talks about, it's, okay, it goes really full circle. He's I think people online who just say negative shit about you are fucking cowards, and they should kill themselves, is something he literally says. And I'm oh, that's so funny. He gets bullied online a lot, and that's what that's where this joke is coming from, is that he doesn't like being bullied online, and he's I'm really defensive, is something I've found out about myself. I really want to come for people who come for me. I feel I want to protect myself. And I found that to be sort of relatable. I definitely
you get
get
bullied
it
online.
Well, yeah,
You're
and I clap.
them on,
I'll try to. Yeah, that's I think the difference is I'm like, no, you want people to. That's a good thing.
Right.
That's a good thing.
How do you feel about the fact that, like, I have to sneeze. We can edit that out. It doesn't count. How do you feel about the fact that, like, you guys don't do similar content, but you've got a similar strategy in terms of, like, would you say that part of Matt Rife's appeal is his controversial nature? Is he that not part of what he does? Because that's a little bit of what you do online, which isn't. I'm not trying to equate you because it's like completely different.
I think we both do stand up. We both are on like the internet. I think that's kind of like, you know, we both get like hate on the internet. I'm nowhere near like Matt Rife is like so fucking famous. But do
you think he is employing similar tactics of like
controversy?
Not controversy. Yeah, like you have sort of this finesse with your audience where like you know that the people watching are like a lot of them are gonna like hate what you're saying, and that's part of the what makes it so funny for us, your viewers or your fans.
I would say that he is very uncomfortable with that aspect of his online presence.
Like he doesn't want to be controversial, and he's kind of being defensive.
Like
with by like layering on controversy.
By literally defending himself. So like something that happened this last week is that a plastic surgeon made a TikTok saying like, "Oh, that feeling when you create the most beautiful jawline that's ever been created, and then your patient pretends that they didn't get plastic surgery." And he's kind of like, you know who I'm talking about.
He's talking about Matt Rife.
But he doesn't say that. But then Matt Rife
He's
commented.
talking about Napoleon.
He's talking about Napoleon Bonaparte. He fixed Joaquin Phoenix's
he fixed
palate.
The real
Napoleon.
He's just that good. He's been around that long.
So old. Like his business is very legit. No, Matt Rife commented on this TikTok video and he was like, "I've never had plastic surgery. Like you didn't do that. You didn't do this, and it's actually illegal for you to lie about this."
Girl, people call me a pedophile, and I'm not going to get any justice for that. You think they're going to put someone in jail for like suggesting that your very obviously augmented jawline?
But he told on himself by being like, "No, I didn't." On this thing that was like, you know, that doesn't even mention his name. It just like kind of alludes.
He just shouldn't respond. But is he doing it on purpose?
I really don't get the feeling that he's doing it on purpose. I think it like.
Should we ask him? We have him here.
Yeah.
He's Matt, just quietly sitting here.
I just think that he's like. I think most of his career has been people really liking him, women specifically really liking him. And I think that's kind of the treatment that he's used to is like, oh, for the most part, everybody likes me. And then I think when he got bigger and people were like, oh, I don't fucking like this, like people kind of like would attack him. I think that made him really upset. I mean, to the point where he like talks about it on stage about how defensive and upset he gets. He like talks about this story where a woman told him that he was she said something that I would have said to him and did say about him, where she's like, "You're just a little crybaby bitch." She like says this to him in a comment, and then he goes on to say,
he read that.
See, so that's crazy that it even came up, right? Because he's got so many people like commenting.
How does he have the time?
I think it's just like the negative stuff sticks out more.
Well, and it's probably shoved in his face by the algorithm.
He read it and then he looked at this woman's like profile and she's like a larger woman, and then he made fun of her for being overweight
on stage
and like in this like comment thread. Like he came for her in a very physical way. And then he was like, my publicist told me not to, but I did. And it's just like, damn, your publicist, you should fire your publicist because you're not listening to them and it clearly doesn't matter what they say. Like that's just a waste of money. Like his apology video his apology on Instagram
he was like, it sent to the
it was a link where he was like, here's my apology, and it's a link to like helmets for
it's just so weak to
people.
Engage. It doesn't demonstrate strength. It demonstrates weakness.
Yeah.
So tying it back to Napoleon,
Yeah.
It's like I see a lot of parallels here.
Yeah, there are a lot.
Napoleon was very defensive.
Very defensive, short, probably 5'8".
So do you think that Matt Rife is Napoleonic?
He does.
Because he is very powerful.
He talks about having a small dick on stage.
He does?
Yeah, which I found kind of like endearing. Like, good for you for saying that. But he talks about, I don't know, whatever. I do think that there's a lot of parallels. I think they want to be special. I think they want to like be seen as powerful and important. And I don't think that there's like a lot of, I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about like Napoleon's life before he was a war general, you know?
I think that kind of was his life.
Just he came out a war general.
He started at the young age of 15 following a talent show at his high school in Corsica.
Napoleon.
The talent show was just shooting people.
It was a war talent show.
It was a war talent show.
You could declare a war on like a group in your high school, the band.
Do you think Matt Rife would lead an army into 3 million casualties?
Yes.
If given the chance.
I think he would.
Would Matt Rife be cavalry, infantry, or artillery?
Artillery, for sure.
With me. Hanging out with me. Yeah. We're just shooting the shit on the cannons. Yeah. The cowards! Okay, well, good kidding. Luck without our guns. Without our cannons.
We would die. We would die without you. I think he would do... I think he'd be
with you in cavalry.
You think so?
I think it would be you and him.
Me and Matt Rife.
Out there on your show ponies, sword fighting people and each other.
My final thoughts on his special were that I didn't think it was funny, but that I didn't hate him nearly as much as I thought I was going to. I was like, this is just like some dude who gets his feelings hurt and like, I don't know, is kind of a piece of shit. Like he's not special enough to be like a real villain, you know? He's just sort of a hacky stand-up comedian.
So he's not like Kissinger and Napoleon in that like these are like true villains. Like they just like lives are lost.
I think that he has more power and influence probably than he knows what Napoleon. To do with. Than Napoleon. No, not than Napoleon. I think he has more influence than what he knows, you know, he knows what to do with. But like, I also don't get evil vibes from him.
Well, and it's like, I think that's with this, I was also looking into like this self-production thing, which is like he self-produces his specials so that there's not a lot of oversight. And here's an individual that I think would benefit from mentorship and oversight, where it's like there's obviously talent and charisma there, but it's like maybe as a young person doing stand-up comedy specials, you shouldn't be completely in creative control.
I'm not sure that he's the type of person who wants notes. You know what I mean? Or wants feedback.
Right.
I think he just wants praise.
And you kind of wonder, it's like, well, what, like, is that, like, what's up with that? That's, like, so, like, I, like, crave order. Like, I enjoy hierarchy on some level, and I like answering to someone.
Yeah.
I think it's very valuable.
I think it's...
in creative situations.
Yeah, it's important. It's important for someone to kind
of
keep you on your toes.
I'm not like selling 600,000 tickets in 48 hours. Same. So maybe people are really attracted to that kind of pride and stuff. And then I guess the horrible defensiveness is kind of the catch-22 of that.
Yeah.
But he's had he's been controversial in the past. He's like been both celebrated and criticized for some of his I read that right off the page for his like controversial tweets mocking sexual assault.
Yeah.
And
I mean, again,
comparing women's private parts to stiff socks. A fascinating comparison.
Yeah. Oh, I don't see that. I'm trying to see it.
I've been sitting with that for a while, thinking
stiff socks?
Well, how does a sock become stiff?
To be fair, the body part he was comparing was a foot in a sock from the outside of the sock.
A foot in the sock.
I'm just making that up. I was trying to think of a body part that would feel like a stiff sock, and it was like, a foot,
Kyle, why are you so deep in this controversy?
I was like, oh, Kyle gets it. Oh no.
So the sock is stiff because there's a foot.
Yeah, because there's a foot in it, and you're touching it.
And that
I think what he's talking about is
vagina?
cum socks that get crunchy. Maybe that's the only thing I can think of.
Do socks really stiffen when you soak them in cum?
I can't.
I don't know.
That.
I probably wouldn't use the word soak.
Well, because it would take a lot of semen
to
stiffen a sock.
Depends on how long you're.
Do you feel like your vagina is a stiff sock?
No, I've never thought that.
You should.
It's like almost a Pink Floyd lyric.
My vagina's a stiff sock.
Okay, write that down. We're starting a band.
Stiff sock.
No, I don't. Okay, I guess if it's
You should
like
take
a crumpled
it back.
up.
You should reclaim that term.
I hate to say it.
My vagina's like a stiff sock. Like, what has been starched?
It's so to speak.
Does he wear socks? Does he know what socks are like?
I don't know.
They're not stiff.
I think he's talking about. I can't. I don't know. Like, honestly,
I can't wrap my head around whatever this is.
I honestly can't. I think that he is just like a boring fucking dude. I don't think he has really any thoughts that are mind blowing. I don't think he's ever really saying anything that make people go, wow, I'm really seeing the world differently because Matt Rife's fucking pussy stiff sock comparison.
Do you
really
think that he should be
things.
exiled? Because they exiled Napoleon
think,
twice.
I know. I think, yeah, you know what? Let's stick him.
Where would you even exile someone?
Hawaii.
Today? That's
Hawaii.
Not a place to exile someone.
I don't know.
You were exiled to Hawaii? What kind of message does that send?
Well, Napoleon was exiled to like beautiful tropical places. Like he was.
Well, the first one was St. Helena, which is really nice.
Yeah, I mean,
then the second one was Elba, which was basically like a rock.
Well,
and then second time he was like, the second time was really when he was actually exiled. Because the first time they were like, go live on this island. We'll pay you a bunch of money. What happened?
Oh, I don't know. I heard something in my headphones.
Are you hearing voices?
Maybe.
Again?
Whoa. Okay. Funny takedowns. Okay, because so many fucking people hate me for really no reason, Rife says.
This is Matt Rife, not Napoleon.
Yeah, but honestly, interchangeable. It really made me realize that people only hate somebody they're jealous of. That is someone who, like, did not take a second to think about why they might be pissing someone off. He was just like, oh, you hate me? It's because
you're jealous.
And then made it take, I don't know. Yeah, like, I don't know.
Do you think that's
loser
true?
Shit. I think he believes that.
Well, and then the clackback was like, do you think people hate Osama bin Laden because they're jealous?
Yeah.
Which is like, and then he was like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Which is kind of so funny. But it's sort of that, like, one of those things that, like, I think he was just kind of riffing, and it's sort of like, oh, I've got this hot take. And then it just immediately was like, I don't think people are jealous of, like, Hitler.
Yeah.
Because of his mustache.
I honestly don't think that anyone hates Matt Rife. I think people find him.
Speak for yourself.
Annoying. Okay, well, I don't hate Matt Rife. I do think he's just like sort of a boring bitch.
Okay, Matt Rife, you can stay. We're not going to send you to an island. But just in case, what island should we send? We should put him on notice.
Okay.
We could exile him if we chose. Sorry.
He's on a wait list.
He's on a wait list.
Like we're waiting for the right time.
Yeah. He's on notice. We'll send a formal notice.
Yeah.
A letter. Hey. Hand delivered by Pickle. On stage.
You two fall in love.
Because this stand-up special is self-produced, he probably didn't think about, like, someone should guard that window over there. So I'll crawl in through that window with the letter. And I'll walk up to him, and I'll be like, hello! News from
You go, Matt Rife, you're trying to serve him, but when he hears his name, he's like, obviously. He doesn't like, he like just is mad at you for not immediately knowing his name.
I'm calling out. I'm on stage with Matt Rife looking for Matt Rife. I'm like, who here is Matt Rife? He's standing there, the only one on stage.
He kicks your entire ass somehow. He like beats you down, and then he's like, ugh. Oh wait, oh my gosh.
You can't beat up a drag queen. That's a bridge too far. No one would stand for that.
No. Well, the Valley, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
But
the Valley.
Yeah,
Fair
I was like,
enough.
I think I saw a video of a bunch of people standing to try and do that.
Yeah. Sorry,
I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, I was like, no one would stand for violence because of drag queen. There's video footage of me being violently
There's like Instagram accounts called like @violence_drag.
At killpickle.com.
One last thing I want to say about Matt Rife is that he's from Ohio and he talks with a black accent the whole time in a way that I really don't like. That's the thing I think that bothered me most
about Matt Rife.
Most about his special.
That he's from Ohio.
The only
I hate corn. That's what they do there.
The only other
corn?
person.
What do they grow in Ohio?
Nothing.
They can't grow nothing. They would never get away with that.
The only other person from Ohio who talks with a black accent,
if you're in the middle
white,
of the country, if you're in the Midwest, you have to grow something.
Is Travis
to
Kelce.
Earn your keep.
We're talking about two completely separate things over here. It's going to be impossible to cut this.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
I was saying the only other person who is from Ohio and talks with a black accent, but who I don't have a problem with, is Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce's from Ohio?
Yeah.
God, we're geniuses.
I know.
We are Taylor Swift.
We take our...
Connecting the dots. We take off our masks. We're both Taylor Swift. Okay, so in conclusion, Matt Rife, not funny, but fine. No exile.
No exile. He's on notice.
He's on notice for exile.
Yeah, but no.
We got to find an island. A good exile. Somewhere you would not want to be sent.
Yeah, we'll look for one.
Like,
Greenland.
Greenland, so icy.
So icy.
It's really cold.
Yeah.
I saw Greenland from a plane once, and I was like, that's not green.
You're like, ew.
I read about this in a textbook. It was a trick. They tried to trick the other Nordics.
They did.
Into going to Greenland because it's not green. Instead of Iceland, which is in fact green.
Yeah.
Pickle, I like Greenland. Exile to Greenland.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
What are you going to do this week to be your best self?
Is that my hot topic quickfire question?
Yes.
I have to answer that question?
Yeah.
I'm going to eat at least 2 servings of vegetables every day.
Oh, that's great.
That's a good answer. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
That sounded
too.
very human. Quick fire question, Bailey. Mm-hmm. What is would you rather be mugged by a clown? Mm-hmm. Or wait, I need a second.
Take your time.
This doesn't count.
Okay.
I keep saying that. Okay, would you rather be mugged by a clown or home invaded by an actual demon?
Oh, mugged by a clown. For sure.
But in the home invasion, you don't lose anything.
I don't know. I don't want anyone to... I want to be mugged by a clown. Okay, the reason I want to be mugged... Like, not only do I not want to be home invaded by a demon...
But in the home invasion, the demon... let me paint the picture for you. It's a demon, but he doesn't... Sorry, hard gender. It's a male demon.
No, I know. I pictured
harsh
that,
binary,
obviously.
Male demon.
Okay, yeah.
He doesn't, like, put a curse on you or take anything. It's just a real demon and he home invades. So he, like, lurks and maybe scares you and then goes away. The clown mugs you, doesn't hit you or anything, but has a gun and will use it, possibly.
Okay.
Like, there's no assurances. The clown's just a person dressed as a clown, as most clowns are.
Yeah.
Except for those that come from Satan. And the clown takes from you anything valuable that you happen to have on you. Including your phone and your wallet and your keys.
Here's the reason that I want to be mugged by a clown. I feel as though I've been wronged by clowns in the past.
So it's familiar territory?
No, I think I would be inspired to fight back in like such a savage
gun. You're not going
way.
to fight back if the clown has a gun.
I'm going to fight back.
You're
so
saying
hard.
that now. I'm calling bullshit. You're in an alley with a clown who's got a gun. You're not fighting back.
I'm grabbing the gun and I'm doing the thing where I go,
no,
fucking
that
pull
doesn't
the
work.
trigger.
In order for hypotheticals to work, you can't suddenly be a different person.
I am that person.
Who has superpowers. No,
I would do that. I took Krav Maga classes that help you disarm someone with a gun. I feel like if that knowledge is coming back, it's going to be when I'm faced with a clown.
With a clown with a gun? Okay, I forgot that you took Krav Maga. That's true.
I did.
I'm not saying that you're not brave, Bailey. I'm just saying that, like, if I were faced with a clown with a gun, I'd be freaking out.
I think it's scary. I just like I'm kind of a fighty.
But some of those minutes don't count, like when I sneeze.
I like to fight anyway, and if I'm going to fight anyone, I would like to fight a clown.
So you're going to mug the clown.
I'm going to turn it on the clown. But I can't do that to a demon. I can't do that. I'm just powerless to a demon. What am I going to do? I'm going to be like, hey, sorry.
Well, that's sort of that's the wild card fun of the demon card, where it's like it's just kind of an experience. Like nothing happens to you, but it's upsetting.
That would be much harder for me to deal with. I'm taking the clown.
Okay, take the clown. Fine. All right. Well, that's our pod.
That's our topic.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much for being here.
Now they've learned a lot.
Yeah.
You didn't know this was a hard education pod.
But it was. And you're learned.
These are your A through G requirements.
All right.
Write and subscribe.
Write and subscribe.
Like us on Facebook.
Yeah. Drink a lot of water.
Half your body weight in ounces.
Eat a lot of protein.
Every day.
Mommy, daddy love you.
Kisses.
Bye.